Mae e wedi gwneud ei benderfyniad, a does neb yn gallu dadlau ag e.
Screwfix Sprint, yn noddi pêl-droed ar S4C.
Mae honna di mynd i ôl yr amddiffynwr ac mae'r bêl yn cael ei rhoi yng nghefn yr hwyd gan Jones. Fel da mewn gan Rhys. Na chi gol gampus. Croesiad da, mae'r gol yn aros a dyna'r hat-trick tair mewn 33 munud.
Wilson tynnu bêl i lawr ac yn curo ddod y hew a mae Jack Wilson wedi dod a Hwlffordd yn gyfartal.
Dylan Rhys ar y foli am gol gan gapten Hwlffordd. Fiel dros y gic, Jamie Fiel! Dyw e ddim yn sgorio goliau syml, mae'n sgorio goliau hyfryd. Good evening everybody, and a very warm welcome from me, Nick Parry, to the Cardiff Met University King Coit Stadium for one of only 2 matches to have survived the winter chill in this weekend's JD Cymru Premier fixtures. This evening's visitors to Cardiff Met are Haverfordwest, and this has all the hallmarks of what could be a fine encounter between 2 sides with realistic ambitions this evening. The home side, if they win, will move up to 3rd place in the table, although they will then have played 2 more games than Bala and Penabont. And if the visitors secure their victory, which may be unexpected, they could conceivably move to the 6th position. But interestingly, the only other match this evening to have survived the winter freeze is that between 6th place Newtown and Pontypridd. And one change in the Cardiff Met side. Sam Jones comes in for Kian Williams, and it means that keeper Alex Lang makes his 100th Welsh Premier appearance. And that's how we anticipate the home side will line up, with plenty of attacking options and a strong midfield. One side also in the visitor side who lost to Newtown last weekend, but that ended a good run for them, and they did perform well in that game with Jack Wilson coming in for Lee Jenkins, and that is a very attacking looking side selected for the visitors. The right back, if he plays in that position, is in fact the top scorer. Add to that Jones, Wilson, Duggan and Fawcett, and there's a strong attacking feel to that visiting side. The players, perhaps understandably reluctant to come out into what is a very, very cold night. And just to confirm, 2 games only from this weekend's fixture list. Newtown at home to Pontypridd. One would imagine a home win there. Newtown in 6th position, Pontypridd 11th. And here, Cardiff Met against Haverfordwest. If the home side win tonight, they will, as I say, move into 3rd position, and they're looking to cement a top 6 place for the first time since the 2017-18 season, and they have, one imagines, a good prospect of achieving that. 6 games left to the break, and 2 of those games to be played against Airbus. Well, we say the game is on. We've had no indication that it's going to be anything but on, and perhaps it deserves a fanfare And it may be that you've heard this one before. David Iwan's Yma o Hyd, as Ryan Jenkins, the home side manager, comes out, acknowledges one or two in the crowd, and led by referee Tom Owen, we finally see the two sides. And yes, Yma o Hyd, we are still here just about this weekend. 2 fixtures, which means that there will be something to keep an eye on. And perhaps one of the earliest tasks should be to congratulate everybody here at Cardiff Met for ensuring that this game does go ahead. There were many pitch inspections from Bala to Flint during the day, but only 2 have survived. The one at Newtown, we're told, was in some doubt, but it's good news that that goes ahead. If you were looking for favourites for the evening, the home side have only lost 2 of their last 19 matches here at the campus, whilst on their travels Haverfordwest have won only 2 of their last 11. But they are on a better run. And just to remind ourselves, that's how we anticipate Cardiff Met will line up. Lang in goal, but Owen, Rees and Sam Jones interestingly up front. 6 goals, top scorer, no goal in the last 12 games. He'll be anxious to change that. And equally exciting, the visiting lineup as we see it will be. 2 goals for Fawcett, 3 for Wilson. And as I say, top scorer Jordan Davis, added to the threat of Henry Jones, which is what makes this quite an enticing prospect. Final words of encouragement. Officials running about. It's a night to keep running about, not to stand still. And finally, after a slight delay, for whatever reason, perhaps a reluctant, quite simply, to come out into this winter chill, we're ready to go. Cardiff Met in 5th position in the league, Haverfordwest in 8th position, and the Met coming here on the back of a drawn game at Flint last week, and the visitors coming here on the back of a defeat at Newtown. And slowly but surely we'll begin. Cardiff Met in the familiar burgundy and navy blue, defending what is a good home record and a kick up from Lang. A good firm challenge there from Owen. Owen looks for captain, or rather Rees up front, and Shepherd, no staff required, gets his tackle in. And who's going to be the star in the sky this evening? Plenty of options. Harry Owen. Back to Jones. Lewis. All the chasing being done by Davis, but that's a long ball looking in towards Kabongo, who moved up from midfield to the edge of the penalty box. McCarthy collects. One of the best players, it's opined, in this league. And a touch again for Lang. Jones, signed from Haverfordwest, and that's an excellent ball looking in towards Sam Jones. And a touch, an early touch for Lee Idzi. Released in the summer, and then following the departure of Lewis Brass, back he came. Stand between the posts for Haverfordwest. Haverfordwest really did have a good start to the season. They were top after 3 games, but then they had a poor run of 1 win in 8 games. And we hear that Newtown have already taken the lead. Robles has got that goal, and hasn't their season been transformed? In November, Newtown were in the bottom 2, 12 games, only 11 points. But they've had 4 consecutive wins, and the indicators are there's a 5th on the way. Owen. Good ball in again, looking for Jones. Jones shepherded out by Abruzzese. Good little period of possession. An obvious foul and confirmation of that early goal at Newtown. In 6th position, Lee Robles, the scorer. It was an interesting move, wasn't it, when Robles moved to Newtown? But in fairness to Chris Hughes, he really has transformed the season. Owen, who's had a good start to this game. Possession lost. Kabongo keeps the pressure on. Jones takes it quickly. Back upfield by Alaric Jones and collected by Baker, the captain. Chubb. Slight misunderstanding between Chubb and Jones. And you only need to look at the player's breath to have that confirmation that these really are sub-zero temperatures. Kabongo. And most of these early minutes being played in the visitors' half. And that's what we envisage will be happening. The ball upfield, every opportunity to try and counter-attack. Lewis Rees is the blonde up front. Again, Abruzzese. Plenty of chasing, plenty of pressure. Ball out to Wilson. Wilson challenged by McCarthy. McCarthy does well to steer that towards Owen. Kabongo. Now that's well won in midfield. And well intercepted by Alaric Jones, in fact it was. And as we'd anticipated, a competitive, eager start. Slightly overhit by Kabongo. 5 minutes played. Wilson. It's loose from the visiting defence, and again Owen tries to take advantage. And Watts was back helping the defence. That's not cleared out of play, picked up again by McCarthy. Yeah, that's A little bit wild by Craven, and it's going to be an early yellow card. Yep. Tom Owen, referee, no hesitation. I mentioned that it was an eager, combative beginning, and that foul on Jones brings us the first yellow card of the game for Chris Craven. There is a sense of urgency about Met, isn't there? Lang, the only one of the Met side to have played every second of every league game this season. This, the 17th. The visitors giving the appearance of having settled down a little and having weathered such a storm as it was. Lewis clears up field, and this really is the first scrappy period of this first half. And I am trying to find out for you what the temperature here is. I'd rather not be a goalkeeper, I can tell you that. Itzy. And at the moment, the visitors struggling to put any passage of possession together. And again, Owen, the most prominent player in these early minutes involved, gets a good cross in, important header out. Now then, Kabongo fights for it. It doesn't fall kindly first time round, but it does the second time round. Rees looks for Baker. Baker goes down. That must be a penalty kick, and it is. And that was a wild tackle, really, by Abruzzese. A really, really wild tackle, but it resulted in continued pressure from Met. They did good play from Rees, determined play. Then the experienced Baker goes for it, and the equally experienced Abruzzese, well, falls for it, doesn't he? And that's as clear a penalty kick as you could wish to see. And Lewis Rees, who scored from the penalty spot at Flint last week. He went to the keeper's left last week and put all thoughts of Harry Kane out of your mind, Lewis Rees. Early opportunity for Met. He does it again, and in utter frustration, Liidzi kicks the post. But you have to say, a deserved early lead for Cardiff Met, and it's another goal for Lewis Rees, and that's his 6th of the season. And that's how you take them. 10 minutes, 1-0. Good play by Baker there to win that penalty, and that's what he offers the home side. He leads by example. Doesn't score perhaps as many goals as he would wish, but he's the source of many goals, and he's also the source of the odd conceded free kick. There's been another goal at Newtown, and it's come, as I understand it, to the visiting side, Pontypridd. But we'll wait for confirmation of that. The kick to be taken, and the visiting side could do with an early response here. Coming here, hoping not unrealistically, to move into the top 6. That's overhit, and Lewis has the experience to guide that one out. And Benamoun has brought the visitors back into the game at Newtown, and that's a good response from the visiting side in 11th place in the bottom 2. Says it clears back, it comes, and the home side are quite relentless in the way that they try and keep this play moving. But that was a potentially very, very good ball. It may be that Wilson went a little bit early, and I'm assuming that was an offside. It was an excellent ball from midfield. Let's have another look at that. Yeah, potentially had gone a little bit early, but he got behind Lewis, and Lewis slowed down. He'd clearly seen the flag. It was quite obvious to the experienced defender that was offside. That's a rather risky one back. Abruzzese, he'll be anxious to make up for that rash challenge. Another kick conceded, and it's a case of the visitors having to take advantage of these opportunities they're being given. They're clearly causing enough concern to win these free kicks. Those free kicks tend to be in the middle of the half, but it's an opportunity to put a very experienced defence under pressure and to bring the forwards Duggan, Wilson, Fawcett into the equation. It's a good header out by Wilson. You need a better kick than that to beat him. That sounds quite an encounter at Newtown. I'll await confirmation, but there's news of yet another goal, as that punted down by Kabongo. Lang, the experienced Lang, clears that. And just to confirm, Aaron Williams, there's been a penalty there as well, and Aaron Williams has put Newtown back ahead, and the response of the visitors was short-lived. Rees looks for Baker. That's what Baker will offer you. He'll come and add the pressure at the edge of the box. And Aaron Williams, of course, is chasing Declan McManus for the Golden Boot at this stage, this early stage of the season. Only one goal between them. Abruzzese. Inside him is Jones. And you do feel it's Abruzzese who's likely to be the source of any response. His vast experience, he wins that kick cleverly. Moved, of course, from Barry over the summer. And the first, or rather not the first, free kick to be conceded in the last 10 minutes. And it's a case of the visitors really having to take advantage of one of these. It's about the third, if not the fourth opportunity. And so far they've either been overhit or they've been too close to the central defenders. In again, and again, slightly overhit, although that was a better ball, and nobody really moving for it, nobody really challenging. Fawcett was there, wasn't interested enough. And we've played 15 minutes. And it's a long time since Cardiff Met finished the season in the top 6. You need to go back to the 2017-2018 season for that, and the visitors, they've never finished in the top 6. Good play, good closing down by Rees. That's slightly overhit, but it was aggressive play from him. Baker tries to close down Abruzzese, and again, good run by him. The referee was going to blow. He's playing the advantage very sensibly, and that's the idea was good. And Jones was there, as was Fawcett, but all emanating again from the determined play of Abruzzese. That's a late one, referee notes it. Again, keeps the play moving. And has that not been one of the features of this World Cup? Referees prepared to keep, the better referees, keeping the ball moving, allowing firm challenges. And having said that, overdone in some cases. And certain referees have got it badly wrong, haven't they? But it's been a good tournament. Good games. And another free kick here conceded by Cardiff Met. An indication perhaps of the determination of Haverfordwest. At least they're winning these free kicks. They're causing Met to have to concede them. Is it the night for flicks and tricks? But there's a good structure to this Met Cardiff side, isn't there? Firm defence, strong players in midfield, plenty of attacking options. Kabongo. And one of the stalwarts, 29-year-old Kyle McCarthy. Inside to Craven. Craven to Lewis. And flicks and tricks appear to be the order of the last 2 minutes. Nothing's coming off. McCarthy again. Scorer of last season's goal of the season, by the way, McCarthy. And guess against who? Well done in the Christmas quiz. It was Haverfordwest. Oh wait. Ames looks, that's a good ball, and again Jones this time had gone a little bit too early, and both sides have had the recipient of what looked a promising pass. That was very, very fine, but we don't have the angle that the assistant referee has, in fairness. Picked up by Veal. Veal's been rather quiet in midfield. The visitors will want him more in the game. McCarthy back to Jones. "20 minutes played. Neither goalkeeper has been assisted in being warmed up by the opposing strikers. 20 minutes played, one accurate shot on goal, and that's the penalty that's led to the goal. Kabongo. And both defences seem to be in relative control, perhaps not unexpected. And is it Davis who's down? No, in fact it's Jones. And the ball put out by Idzi. And losing Jones would be a blow. Formerly of Bala, of course. One of the really talented players in this league. And one wonders when we have Jones, formerly captained the Swansea City under-21 side. Didn't quite make the breakthrough to the first team. And perhaps on an evening like this, the players won't be too happy to have a longer break. And what's that? Is that a water break or a hot chocolate break? Jones still down. And number 3, Abruzzese, hand on hips, still talking perhaps about that foul that he conceded that led to the only goal of the game so far. These two sides have met once this season, and that was a win for Haverfordwest, courtesy of one own goal by Sam Jones. And a chance for us to look again, first of all, at the incident that led up. Good play by Rees, determined play now by Baker, and no doubt about the decision, no doubt about the execution. And play is resumed midway through this first half. Newtown ahead by 2-1 in the other game this evening. And the home side ahead here. Abruzzese again, and he on one side and McCarthy for Met on the other, showing their experience, getting involved, driving their sides forward. Ball collected by Fawcett. We haven't seen enough of him from the visitors' viewpoint. Lang. Good header by Fawcett. Out by Davis again. Too far beyond Abruzzese. Chubb with the throw in. Lang upfield. Rees. Good tackle to stop Jones. McCarthy putting the pressure on. That's why the clearance goes straight to Kabongo. Lang. Now again, Lang puts that ball out. Not quite sure why he did that. There's a chance for Owen. And he'll courteously, I assume, give the ball back. Yes, he will. 2 balls on the field, I think. Up from Idzi. And again, nothing's going right for Davis or for Veal. They're offering. And Duggan up front also. Little falling for him. And it's certainly been Met's half so far. You can't deny that they deserve the slender lead that they have. Out by Shepherd. "20 minutes of the first half remaining. Long throw, that's a good back header. Who does that fall to? And who came in again? Skipper Baker. That's what he's offered throughout this first half. He'll be disappointed with the execution at the end of it. Simple long throw. Haverfordwest will be disappointed how easily that was won. Always leaning backwards. And Baker still to score his first goal of this season. Didn't score at all last season either. That's loose. Kabongo finds Owen in towards Rees. Goalie came out quickly, in fairness to Idzi. But you get the feeling that if the home side put their foot on the accelerator, they can cause more problems for the visitors. They're a strong side at home here at Cardiff. That's straight to McCarthy. Again to Owen. Rees back to McCarthy. McCarthy. That could fall kindly for Kabongo. Out towards McCarthy. Baker. He's a bit fortunate to have another opportunity. McCarthy, plenty of space. Thought of shooting, changed his mind, didn't quite get the ball in as he would have wanted it. Davis. Well, this was the chance. Good play again by Owen, clever pass. Yep, and in fairness to it, he really did come out and close the angle quickly, didn't he? Chubb, once again. No urgency, comfortably in control. Currently moving up to third place in this season's JD Cymru Premier, if they secure the 3 points. Plenty of time for the visitors to respond, and they really have turned their season around. 3 wins on the trot until last weekend. A little bit of hesitancy, and in the end, a confident clip of the ball. It's that ball that doesn't stick. They end up losing possession in the final 1/3, and they've got to be better than that against a very experienced Met defence. Unlucky. And Craven intercepts again. The target this time is Jones and Owen and Rees are moving, offering themselves. The final ball isn't reaching them either. Still 2-1 in the other game of the evening between Newtown and Pontypridd. Wilson on the charge. He mustn't lose the ball there. McCarthy seeks to take advantage, fed by Craven. Ball towards Owen. Did he have an opportunity to shoot? Overthinks it a little bit, but he's been busy this first half. Chased by Veal. And the ball is cleared. Half an hour of the game played. Lewis goes in. And is that a foul? Yes, it is, but the referee was about to blow and again plays a good advantage. He's indicated to Kabongo that he saw that. I'm coming back to you was the message, but in the meantime, gives them an opportunity. But the Cardiff Met side, in fairness to them, have rushed back. They've reformed their shape out. The ball comes to Watts. Watts to Wilson. Back towards Shepherd, the skipper. And they're back where they started. Ball collected by Veal. And now he's seeing a little bit more of the Veal that we know can cause danger. Ambitious, the idea was good, it was never going to reach Wilson really, was it? And Kabongo has an opportunity to turn defence into attack. That was well kept in. Now then, how good is the referee's memory? Has he forgotten about Kabongo? I wonder. Kabongo may have had his first Christmas present of the season. Wilson. Veal should have done better perhaps, but he's salvaged the situation. And every now and again you get a feeling that perhaps the visitors are coming back into it. Push in the back there by Chubb, referee lets it go. Lewis upfield again. And this time offering himself was Jones, but that wasn't accurate enough. And we're seeing signs of just why Haverfordwest have been better of late. As I say, even when they lost last week to a rejuvenated Newtown, they did play well. Wilson. Well, there's a patience about them, but they need perhaps to be a little bit more thrusting, a little bit more decisive, penetrating with that final ball. Arbutseze. Better. Again, Arbutseze intelligently. He stayed where he was. He was in space. Was a handball by Kabongo? No, says the referee. And the visitors come again. Shepherd. And Shepherd you would describe as the quarterback, wouldn't you? His brother plays for Salford, by the way, in the English second division. And I expect to be rewarded from resisting, from making the obvious nativity jokes. Wilson, head down. Again. Good, solid, accurate defending by Cardiff Met. The ball finds skipper Baker. And of course, there's somebody available. It's Owen. It's a poor ball by Owen, intercepted, easily read by Watts. Nice ball. Good control. Lewis watches his man. Good cross in. And that's the first real action that Alex Lang has been called into. He had to be alert there. And he was quickly off his line, saw the danger. He did well to see the danger, because the cross was blocked to a degree by the large frame of Lewis. And Lewis takes no chances. Baker. And the common theme is that the ball isn't falling kindly in the crucial parts of the pitch for anybody, is it? That final pass isn't quite getting there. If there's a bounce, it's a bounce against the attacking player. But one thing is consistent, the way that Cardiff Met are pressing, closing it down, making it difficult for the visitors. Wilson. Fortunately, nobody there. Into the last 10 minutes of the first half, in half a minute. Still the one penalty from Rees separating the two sides. Again, good ball in. A little bit close to the keeper, but the idea was good. And Duggan, the large visiting forward there in the lime shoes. Nothing has fallen for him all evening. Only the one goal so far this season. And Duggan works, by the way, or used to work for the Royal Mail, so he should know how to strike, but he hasn't been able to yet, as Chubb has just yet another throw in. Now then, Lang stays down. One can only assume that happened when he cleared the ball. He doesn't look happy. Unlike the visiting side, the home side do have a goalkeeper on the bench. But it's one of the risks of playing in these sub-zero temperatures, and particularly in goal, and even more so when you've had nothing to do apart from cutting out that one cross. It's his 100th appearance. He's played every second of this season in the JD Cymru Premier. His 100th appearance in the JD Cymru Premier, and again, I'm sure they've sneaked some hot drinks into those bottles. They will have done. And quietly they'll be saying to themselves, please Alex, hurry up, get better, we want to keep running. Ryan Jenkins taking the opportunity to give a few words of advice. Lang on his feet. And we'll have 4 or 5 minutes of added time at the end of this first half, won't we? Says he, pessimistically. An opportunity for Chubb to put this in. The game needs a spark suddenly. It's died a death a little bit. Still that one penalty separating the two sides. Chubb hoping to open the key, open the door out from Owen, or rather from Davis, but he's pressurised again, this time by Rees, and it's another opportunity for Chubb. And one does feel if there was a second goal for Met, it would make it extremely difficult for the visiting side, as we've seen them. There'd have to be a marked improvement. That's a poor throw in by Kabongo. Not much conviction. He plays safe and punches what he perhaps could have caught. And Shepherd releases Abruzzese. It's a further goal for Louis Robles, the second of the night for him. It's now 3-1 against visiting Pontypridd. So any slender hopes that Haverfordwest had of moving into 6th position this evening seem to be evaporating. They'd have to win and Newtown would have to lose, and neither looks likely at the moment. Watts. And again, possession rather given up far too easily. And again, you do get the feeling that the home side could really take advantage. Jones, they're having one opportunity after the other really to set something up. In it comes from Kabongo, that's overhit. And again, they're as guilty as the visiting side with that final ball. And until this evening, the Met they'd only scored 2 goals in 5 games, and both of those were from the penalty spot. So it's now a 3 and 6. All 3 from the penalty spot. And Rees got 2 of those. Elliot Evans, the absent Elliot Evans, got the other one. Davis inside to Jones. Now that might fall to Duggan, and he was a little bit surprised it came his way. He's clattered for his efforts, and Elliot Duggan signed from Portadown. It's a good little story involving Duggan. He was without a side. He put his details up on social media. They were seen by Portadown. They looked at him, they signed him, and in the summer he moved to Haverfordwest. But he's been quiet, the quietest of what's been a quiet front 3 for the visitors, and that, it has to be said, is down to Jones, Lewis and Craven at the back. And in case I'm found to be entirely out of favour with the Met fans, they have in fact had 1 other goal. But don't get too excited, fans, because I know that was an own goal. So 4 goals, 3 pens, 1 OG. But at the moment, they're in 5th position in the league, and they could well move up to 3rd. And who questions what kind of goals they were? Into the last 5 minutes of the 45, but likely to be, oh, that's untidy, horribly untidy. Oh, and that's unlucky, almost a clip. It was a clip on Jones, and it's a 2nd yellow card of the night, and this time it's skipper Corey Shepherd. All emanating from a very slack loss of possession, and so it's a yellow for Shepherd. And that's 1 yellow card each. Craven for the home side, and Shepherd. Now then, Harry Owen may fancy his chances here. Chris Baker there. Harry Owen has yet to score in the league this season. He looks the more prepared, but that could be deceptive. Wall does its job, and that's straight into the face of the defender, and Shepherd looks to be knocked out. And sympathy from Jones. And it takes us back to the World Cup, and that free kick that struck Nico Williams smack on the top of his head, and he suffered concussion simply because of that, and had to be taken from the field. Shepherd looks as if he might get up, and another look at it. Oh, brave, leading by example, and yet another pause in the play. And the concussion test quite properly being carried out, and a very sympathetic 4th official, I would say. He's obviously chilly because he's going to add only 2 minutes of added time in a half where we've had 3 or 4 real stoppages. So a little bit late kicking off. Time being made up by that kind decision, and unless something dramatic happens, the home side will go in at the break, leading by that 1 penalty goal. Again, another loose ball. And again, the home side unable to capitalise on it. Lewis, it's been too easy really. It's an almost good ball from Lewis. It sums up the first half. It's half-time at Newtown, by the way. It's 3-1 to Newtown against Pontypridd. 2 goals for Louis Robles. 1 penalty amongst the 3 goals. Aaron Williams scored that one. Ben Armoun, rather, scored the Pontypridd, what looks to be consolation goal at the moment. So 1 for Williams, 1 for Armoun, 2 for Louis Robles, and here 1 for Rees. A late surge by the scorer of the only goal of the game, watched by Watts. He's done well. Again, can't get the ball into where it hurts. McCarthy back towards Craven. Almost the 4th official was happy with 2 minutes. Referee wants us to have a little bit more. He's a bit warmer, obviously. One last opportunity, perhaps. Chubb again. Not in any rush, pays the penalty for not being in any rush. And talking about penalties, the only goal of the game, it seems a long time ago now, doesn't it? 10 minutes of the game played, an error, nothing else, by Abruzzese. Missed time tackle on the Met Cardiff captain, Chris Baker, and dispatched easily and well by Lewis Rees, giving us a half-time score of Met Cardiff. Cardiff Met 1, Haverfordwest 0. Join us in 10 to 15 minutes or so for the second half. Welcome back to what is 50% of this weekend's JD Cymru Premier. There may have been an early substitution, I'm just checking, and it looks as if Henry Jones has been replaced by Johan Evans for the visitors. But we'll wait for confirmation of that on the board. Just the one penalty kick dividing these sides. That's scored by Lewis Rees as far back as the 10th minute. And won by that man, the Met skipper, Baker. And just to confirm, Henry Jones replaced by Johan Evans, who signed from Cefn Druids only this summer. And he'll be hoping to repeat what he did last season. And that was to score, but not to score against the team he scored against last season, which was Haverfordwest. First change of the night. And the visitors, quite simply, are going to have to be a little bit more adventurous, a little bit more positive in the final third. And I did promise you that I'd inquire about just how chilly it is. Well, it's -2 degrees. That's the official line from the Met Office. And that's not the Cardiff Met Office. Not the coldest in a week where we've seen temperatures as low as -17 here in Wales. Abruzzese, who conceded the penalty kick that divides the two teams. Number 24, the young Humphreys. Again, that long ball. Simply manna from heaven for an experienced defence who are able to cope with it. Watts. He's tried hard. Evans. And the run then from Humphreys. And as Tony Pennock would have hoped, at least a positivity about the visitors' play. But they've got to turn that into something more creative in a side that's missing so many experienced players, particularly in defence. Captain Dylan Rees, of course, Elliot Scotcher also absent, Kyle Patton as well, and Jazz Richards, as well as Lee Jenkins, all missing. And in that context, perhaps you'd have expected Cardiff Met to have had more joy up front, and those who are in the visiting side have been nearly as comfortable as the home side defence, and that's been what's lacking in this encounter so far. Fawcett. Too easily pushed off the ball. And just to remind you, the other 50% of the surviving fixtures of this weekend is that game between Newtown and Pontypridd, and there's still 3-1 to the home side, and all of those goals, by the way, you can see on the Scorio social media platforms. Twitter is the place to go, and you'll see all of the goals, all of the action from that game. And interestingly, if Newtown secure the win, as it looks they well might, it'll be 6 wins on the trot in all competitions, and they haven't achieved that for 18 years. So they'll be keen to hang on to that. Again, that last ball, good run by Abruzzese, but intercepted, not accurate enough. Rees looks for Jones. Jones whips it in, too much on it. And there's an opportunity here perhaps for Veal. Well, if not to clear, to take the throw in. Jones trying to close them down. Rees trying to do the same. Oh, that's another loose ball. A shocking ball picked up by Jones. And Met really do feel they have to capitalise. That's a good ball. It's a chance struck by Kabongo. It's going to be a corner, is it? But certainly that was a chance. Took too long, didn't he? Simply took too long. There. Gave the opportunity for the defender to come across. First corner kick of the second half. Still the one goal dividing the two sides. Dearth of players in the penalty area. Now they rush in, and that's a poor kick. Far too easy for Idzi. And the instruction there from the bench was clear, wasn't it? It has to be a better ball, and it does. Kabongo leaves it for Craven. Kabongo again does enough. Rees. Again, that was beyond Owen. Baker asks for it. Owen, good cross in again, overhit in the end. The idea was right, and Rees had come too early perhaps, but they're pressing a little bit more now in this second half. Yeah. Rees had taken the gamble a little bit earlier than perhaps upon reflection he should have done. And that's the point. Craven and Baker, once the ball's headed down, they always pick up the ball, the second ball in midfield. It's far too easy for them, the number 16 and the number 18. A header down from Emlyn Lewis or from Alec Jones, and the midfielders collect, turn, and put the home side on the way again. And something has to stick up front for the visitors if things are going to change here. A nudge by Rees, spotted by referee Tom Owen. Harry Owen did everything that was permissible within the rules to get that going, but stoic defending, and they have to come again. Nice play by McCarthy. Pass wasn't such a good one. Watts. And one does get the impression that Met have decided to press a little bit harder, to put the visitors under more pressure. And the visitors are having it a little bit more difficult, finding it more difficult to get out of their own half. There's a player down. It wasn't such a bad pass. No, that looks to be... Is that Jordan Davis? Yep. Davis, who cemented his move to Haverfordwest over the summer from Connaskey, having been here on loan. Plays futsal for Wales. And what an asset to have in a side with plenty of attacking talent. He, in fact, is the top scorer with 6 goals. Plays in a defensive as well as a part attacking role. And it looks as if he's going to give it another go. But the referee isn't allowing him back on just yet. So the 10 of the visitors momentarily here. 11 minutes of the second half played. Very little by way of incident. Very little by way of a suggestion that the visitors might get back into this game. Kabongo back towards Lewis, back towards Kabongo. Check. Good running by Jones. Abruzzese, and the little trip by Jones. And you're going to be better than that against an experienced player such as Reece Abruzzese. He's played well, apart from the penalty he's conceded. That's a very, very good tackle, is it, by the keeper, by the skipper rather. And one does wonder whether the reaction, both of Wilson and the scream off the bench, has influenced that. We'll wait and see when we have a better look at it, but Baker's asking the same question. No, it's not given there, and then eventually it is given, and it escalates from there. And it's another yellow card for Cardiff Met. Craven and Baker in the book to join the Haverfordwest skipper, Corey Shepherd. There's a slip there by the defender Jones, which suggests conditions might get a little bit more difficult as the game draws on. Abruzzese once again. It's the long punt down, watched by McCarthy. Davis, back on. Does well to get that ball in, headed out by Chubb. And foul in the box, and look at Emlyn Lewis, look at him, screaming, how did that cross get in? Davis did well, out by Chubb, and the nudge enough to earn the free kick. Well, the home side, they're unbeaten in their last 3 games, and they've won 5 of their last 7 games here. Just 2 defeats, one of which they'll want to forget, their worst ever home defeat, 7-0 to the New Saints, but they're performing well at home. That had to be won. And again, Jones, he's giving it everything. That's a confident little delivery from skipper Shepherd to Watts. Davis. Baker again. Jones has gone too early. Play on, says the referee. Shepherd. And again, it's that last ball that just doesn't penetrate. An hour of this encounter played. The team in 5th place entertaining the team in 8th place at the beginning of this evening. Both sides have really improved of late. And it bears saying again, after 3 games of this season, Haverfordwest were top of the league. And then they had that awful, awful run. Just 1 win in 8 from August to November. And they lost the other 7. And then the turnaround. Jones concedes the free kick. Watts again. Baker heads it on. Simply stolen too easily there by Harry Owen. And it's Jones again doing all of the running. Right-hand side, left-hand side, down the middle, offering himself. Nothing quite arriving. Abruzzese again, but this time he's gone a little bit too far. Craven again. How many times have we said it? Craven did well there. 1 possession, determined tackle. Veal for the visitors. Looks for Fawcett. Fawcett plays it out. McCarthy sticking to his man. Wilson, and the last touch off Wilson. Now there's a substitution about to happen. And it's Duggan, who's had a quiet game, it has to be said. Just the one goal this season. And he's to be replaced by Harry John, a 16-year-old who made his debut in September, an academy product, and a good experience for him, and a good decision really by the visiting manager, because this is a game where they would still hope to be able to get something out of it, but he's put his trust in a very, very young man and taken off a far more experienced Duggan himself, it has to be said. He's only 22. Is it me, or am I rather beginning to think it's a little bit more slippy out there? Humphreys. Watt. Shepherd looks a little bit uncomfortable. Well, too easily by Chubb. Abruzzese, lovely, a nutmeg, and against one of the better players of the evening, Kabongo. Skipper Shepherd. Uncomfortable or not quite willing to accept the ball. Nice touch, early touch from young John. Abruzzese. And John again. And that's good to see. Not easy conditions for a young player. And he's up against experienced players. There he is again. 5 or 6 touches already. What you notice about the young player just out of frame. Now there he is. He's looking, always looking. A, where's the ball? B, where can I go? Where's the opportunity? Where's the potential opening? a little bit loose. Abruzese. Fayon, says the referee. That's a tackle by Lewis. But an opportunity. This is the skill of this player. Apologies if you hear the odd swear word. That's the consequence, I'm afraid, of a winter's night where most people have probably decided to watch this at home on Scorio. And you can hear every word, but it gives you an idea of the passion and festive spirit, eh? I'm sure it was a little elf offering to help. There was a chance there, wasn't it? Wasn't there to feed Owen, but the pass from Rees just wasn't accurate enough. And that's been the theme of this evening. That ball was not kept in play. And there again you see number 42, Harry John. And if it was the hope of Tony Pennock that his presence would inject a little bit of urgency into the visitors' play, it may be that that's exactly what's happened. But they'll want the ball up the other end of the field. Two sides who really haven't been prolific scorers this season. Visitors in particular, aren't they, missing the goals of Torre Cisse, who left for Altrincham. And they've got Fawcett with 2 goals, Wilson with 3 goals. And big 3 games coming up for Haverfordwest. It's Haverfordwest at home and Pontypridd twice. And you might imagine that they'd certainly be thinking that that could mean 9 points. And that would take them to 29 points. And it's usually 31 gets you into the top 6. But big games after that, it's tough. It's TNS, Connors Key. So where there might be again, there'll be potential pain after that. Now then, Idzi stayed and called the referee. I think it was simply a landing on hard ground, but Rees doesn't look comfortable. Yep, he fell from some height. Still the scorer of the only goal of the game. One of only 3 scorers in the JD Welsh Premier 4. Cardiff Met this season. Formerly of the New Saints. Look at the referee. If you wanted any evidence, it's chilly. And I bet he wishes he could tell the attacker, just get up, will you? We can get on with this. Looks if he's been okay. He's worked hard this evening, Lewis Rees. Still only 20. One of several young players in this Cardiff Met side. But on the evidence of the first half, even if we have a 6-minute break, we'll probably have about a minute's additional time. As we move up to the final 20 minutes. Still time for the visitors to respond. 3 wins out of 4 games so far. Just that 1 defeat to Newtown last week, and there's no shame in that. And here he goes again. John plays it safe. Humphreys. Abruzese knows he needs to get up that ground and up that field as as often as he can now. The source of anything promising appears to be him. And it's just the one goal against a side who doesn't find it easy to score goals. There's always hope. Corner kick. And back come Harry Owen and also Baker to assist. And up come Captain Shepherd and Humphreys. Now this needs to be a better delivery than the visitors have shown from all of their set pieces, all their opportunities. Out by Jones, claims that he was fouled, and the referee agrees. And if Cardiff Met hold on to this lead, they'll be on 28 points. They've got 2 games to play against Airbus, so it looks promising for them for a top 6 finish. And just to remind you, if things stay as they are, this evening at least they will be in 3rd position. Leaving is Wilson. And on comes George. And Ryan George, defender again. A young player who joined only in January from Redditch United. Played for the first team of Newport County. And so yet another change from the visitors. And youngsters who haven't made so many appearances been given the opportunity. It's the 7th time that George has been brought on as a replacement. Humphreys. Abruzzese, of course. But again, you were never convinced that Davis was going to make something of that, and that gave the opportunity for Cardiff Met to spoil things.
Come on!
Shepherd. Again. John. Veal. Humphreys all the way back to Idzi, and if things stay like this, interestingly, Penabont, currently 4th, would slip down to 6th. Okay, they would have games in hand, 2 games in hand, but it just shows you it's not over yet. I think most of us would have been of the view that Penabont were fairly guaranteed to be top 6 finishers. Carnarvon currently on 22 points, are in 7th position. Now Lewis has seen the danger. He's there before Davis, uses his strength, but he can't get the ball out. Baker beaten to it. Now this needs to be slick, and the final ball from Veal, that was a little bit unlucky. Was there a push in there? Well, there are appeals. And in the meantime, Kabongo asks Rees to work even harder. Let's have another look. Well, Lewis is a strong player. I think it needs more than that nudge to influence the referee. But the way the visitors have played, you get the impression it's going to need to be a penalty kick or a set piece that affords them the goal. Now they've proved me wrong again. They've gone too early. It's not the first time that's happened. Good balls in behind the defence, but not the discipline. Now that looked a bad decision, doesn't it? Yep, and you can see the disbelief. But we're approaching the final 15 minutes. It's an interesting result if it stays like this, mainly because of the implications for the top six. There'll be quite a bit of movement. It's still, as I understand it, 3-1 in the game between Newtown and Pontypridd. And there, Dave Jones has in fact saved a penalty from Clayton Green. But it's still 3-1. And Newtown still on course for a 6th consecutive win in all competitions for the first time in 18 years. But hasn't Chris Hughes done well there? As the season was developing and developing, they simply weren't improving. They were bottom 2. And they've then had those consecutive wins. Tonight will be a 5th consecutive win, having lost 5 of the 6 before then, and the only win was against Airbus. And that was by a fine margin of 2-1. And Airbus, who are firmly rooted in the bottom of the league, on -2 because of a disciplinary issue. Newtown, in fact, are the only side to drop points against them. That's how bad things were, and that's how well they've recovered. And Chris Hughes, one of the most highly regarded and respected coaches in this league, has really done well. Now again, looking for Kabongo. He's worked hard tonight. He's a good, strong player. And has young Humphreys been injured hitting the fence? Well, Kabongo pleading his innocence. He's probably entitled to go for it. Yeah, it may well have been that there was a partial slip there as well. But there's no doubt that was a nasty collision. Now he's off the pitch, and in those circumstances, in reality, Tom Owen should allow this corner kick to be taken. And Haverfordwest ideally would want Humphreys back defending. And it may be that knowing that the corner kick will be taken might hasten the recovery of the young defender. We'll see. No, it's going to be taken without him. Our keeper comes and does well there. That was an intelligent push away from the danger zone. Rees collects. In it comes again. No Humphreys to defend. Out by Watts. Craven puts it on his left foot. Well, that's a rare shot on target. Didn't quite get hold of it, but was given the opportunity to put it on his favoured left. Still just the one goal, the 10th minute penalty from Lewis Rees, separating these two sides. Two of the better sides on recent form. Oh, that's sloppy. Oh, the keeper did well, but there's a chance there for Kabongo, and he was too leisurely, wasn't he? He should have been firmer there, and he knows that was a real opportunity. Idzi, in fairness, did well to come out to thwart Jones. It was slack defending, but now here, that was lazy. And although Humphreys, who's back on the pitch, was there, this was the effort from Craven, straight down Idzi's throat. But a flurry of attacking activity, which is to be welcome. Away by Veal, back it comes, and again Reese's header finding no one but Idzi, and Idzi's had a busier 5 minutes than he's had all night. Abruzzese, yep, being forced backwards as instructed by Kabongo. Shepherd, loose pass collected by young John. Intelligent pass, and look at him moving, always on the move. And the deflection lands kindly for Alex Lang. Tonight's Centurion. And we have 10 minutes of the 90 to play. And as things stand, Cardiff Met are climbing to a lofty third position. Now then, Kyle McCarthy, look how much space he's got, look how easily he was able to stroll up and get that ball. It has to be confirmed again, the visitors are missing experienced players, but they are defenders in the main. And it's the midfield and the front three who haven't really functioned, they haven't threatened. But they'll know from their experience there's still time. Frustration there from Rees. Jones still working, still putting under pressure. And it's the home side who are doing the pressure, the pressing. It's the visiting side who are feeling the pressure, and they're simply unable to get out of their own half. Craven closing down. Watts. Nice ball. Elliot Evans, by the way, is preparing to come on. A bit of experience there, undoubtedly. Another one of the rare scorers for Cardiff Met this season. And I think it's going to be Harry Owen who leaves. Yeah, he's worked hard, Harry Owen, particularly in the first half. But Elliot Evans, who's played 15 of this season's 16 games, he's scored 4 goals this season. He has a coaching role with the club now. And to be able to bring him on off the bench in this league is a luxury. And it won't make Haverfordwest's task any easier. Shepherd. Humphreys. Veal. Foul given. That's going to be a yellow card. Now then, is that McCarthy? I think it is. And Baker, well, expresses disbelief, but fortunately it wasn't Baker, as I think some of his teammates had suspected in the first place, because he's already on a yellow card. But another set-piece opportunity, looking for a better ball in. Fawcett. Everybody back. Better ball in. And that came off Jones. Nearly an own goal. And if that had gone in, we'd have a story, because in the corresponding fixture, Haverfordwest won by 1-0. And guess who scored? Own goal from Jones. He nearly repeated the trick. Not a Christmas trick he'd have wanted to repeat. No push. Rees. This has got to be one, you feel, by Haverfordwest. It's not, but in the end, the last ball wasn't accurate enough. Veal clears with the assistance of Humphreys. And as you find so often the case with just 5 minutes and a few seconds remaining, suddenly there's an urgency about the visitors. And you ask, where's this urgency been? They've got nothing to lose now. And a rare attempt on goal. But when you're one down with just 5 minutes to go, that's a little bit wasteful. You can't be too critical. Louis Robles, by the way, has scored a hat-trick at Latham Park, and so it's 4-1 to Newtown, as it was in the reverse fixture, which means that Newtown, and congratulations to them, are winning their 6th consecutive game in all competitions for the first time in 18 years. Now that is worth repeating, and it just underlines the improvement in their season. Lewis strong. Baker. And he simply doesn't stop working, does he? Elliot Evans, the substitute, out to McCarthy. And suddenly we have the familiar names, the experienced names of Cardiff Met combining. And that's what Haverfordwest have to breach. Lewis. Rees. Kabongo. Nice switch of play. Yeah, he needs support. Craven. He's played well this evening. Kabongo back to Chubb, and Craven doesn't usually play in midfield, usually a full-back, and he's done well, and here he is again. Abruzzese, who's also, well, I'd say the visiting side's best player this evening, although the bar is pretty low, it must be said. But there's experience, and there's a good grounding. Craven and Rees, both ex-players with TNS. Little bit of hesitancy there by Idzi. It's cleared. Shepherd. Look who's there. Far too easy. If it's not Lewis, it's Jones. Play on, says the referee. That's a good ball. Rees trying to make something of it. Now then, is it going to fall to Kabongo? Abruzzese has seen the danger. And just to remind ourselves, he's a good defender as well as a good attacking player. Veal, or Watts rather. Watts back to Idzi. And now Shepherd. Two minutes of the 90 to play. Still just the one goal. Forward by Kabongo. Yep, and Rees turns round in despair, both arms in the air. What was that? Two at Latham Park. The first goal was scored for the visitors by Ben Armoun, and it's Ben Armoun again who's got the second goal. And just to remind you, all the action from that game can be seen on our Scorio social media platforms. Go to Scorio's Twitter account, all the goals will be there. And also a missed penalty for the visitors as well. So an action-packed night there. And I think it's... yep. George, I think, concedes that. And we'll find out Now there's yellow card to Tony Pennock, and that's frustration, nothing else. He'll feel that this should have been a better contest. Certainly everybody expected a better contest in the context of the improvement of both of these sides recently. But Cardiff Met have looked comfortable. 3 minutes of added time. And one would expect a last 3 minute surge from Haverfordwest. They're certainly receiving encouragement to do just that from the bench. But again, look at the home side pressing. It's just difficult to get the ball out from the visiting half. It was never going to be easy, of course, for the visitors, but as I say, they have beaten Cardiff Met this season already, and they've been on the improved run. And that's why they came into this game in 8th position. And Lang, who's enjoying the feel of the ball because he hasn't had much of it during this game. He's had a quiet game, hasn't he? And there was a rather resigned look to skipper Shepherd there as he headed that ball back to his keeper. Is there one last surge by the visiting side? And the stronger players in the Cardiff Met side have really played well. Good ball looking for Jones, and Jones going all the way. He's going to have a chance this time. Doesn't make a mistake with the second opportunity. And one of the players who's been very hard working this evening, he's been determined, has finally got his goal. And that's the 7th goal of the season for Sam Jones. But you know, it's his first goal since August. But he was determined. That was all about him. Keeper probably will criticise himself, but that confirms the inevitable, and it's going to be a win for the home side. Cardiff Met 2, Haverfordwest 0. Abruzzese received a yellow card, more out of frustration than anything else. And it's a case of the visitors being put out of their misery now. And their rather dismal away form continues. They came here just 2 wins in 11 away games. It'll be now 2 in 12. And it's 4 games unbeaten now for Cardiff Met. With 6 wins out of 8, they move up this evening in the JD Welsh Premier League to 3rd position. 1 penalty kick early in the game from Lewis Rees. They really were in control, they weren't really threatened, and perhaps it was a fairer reflection of the game when Jones finally forced the second goal, a fine individual goal from Sam Jones. And on an evening when Newtown have secured their 6th consecutive win in all competitions for the first time in 18 years. It's been a good night for the home sides. Here it finishes Cardiff Met 2, Haverfordwest 0. From me, Nick Parry, and all of us here at Cardiff Met, a very good evening to you.
Penderfyniad sydyn gan y dyfarnwr, ac mae'n mesur yn berffaith.
Screwfix Sprint, a noddi pêl-droed ar S4C.